يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي يا نفس إن لم تظفري لا تجزعي.
In the United States, the Second Amendment grants citizens the right to bear arms, a provision deeply ingrained in the national consciousness. However, the prevalence of gun violence has led to tragic, terrible events that challenge the fabric of our society. As we all know by now, a recent and poignant example is the assassination of Charlie Kirk. Now, who was Charlie Kirk? He was a prominent conservative activist and co-founder of Turning Point USA. And students at Utah Valley University saw this. They stated that Kirk was fatally shot in the neck. And this incident has ignited widespread condemnation and introspection about the state of political discourse and the resort to violence in addressing grievances. Now, I am sure you heard of this. Why we're talking about it now, especially here at the Faithful Scribe. Well, we always look at things from the Islamic lens, right? That's what we do here. As a Muslim, this deen is a way of life for us. It's not separate from our daily activities. It is part of who and what we are as a human being for the believer. So from an Islamic perspective, the Qur'an and Sunnah provide clear guidance on handling such situations. The Quran instructs believers in the interpretation of its meaning. It says, "Do not let the hatred of a people prevent you from being just. Be just, that is nearer to righteousness." Now this ayat emphasizes the importance of maintaining justice, even towards those we may dislike. The Prophet Muhammad ﷺ further taught, "The strong is not the one who overcomes the people by his strength, but the strong is the one who controls himself while in anger." Now this hadith, it basically tells us the value of patience and self-control in the face of provocation. Additionally, the Quran advises, "Invite to the way of your Lord with wisdom and good instruction." And then it adds, "Argue with them in a way that is best." That's self-explanatory, is it? This guidance encourages engaging in peaceful dialogue and constructive communication. Look, the sanctity of life is paramount in Islam. Allah states in the Quran that whoever kills a soul unless for a soul or for corruption done in the land, it is as if he had slain mankind entirely. And this ayat is basically highlighting the gravity of taking a life unjustly. So as Muslims, when we're confronted with offensive speech or harmful policies, our response should be rooted in these principles. This is something that we need to know. We need to understand what our deen, the Deen al-Islam, teaches us as Muslims on how to behave in situations like this. We should advocate for justice by engaging in lawful activism, okay? And we could get into detail about what type of that should be. Educating others and promoting just policies through peaceful means. Maintaining composure and controlling our emotions. This helps us to avoid actions driven by anger or hatred. Seeking constructive dialogue allows us to address disagreements through respectful conversation and understanding. And recognizing the immense value of every human life compels us to avoid any form of violence. That is not who we are. That is not who we should be. because resorting to violence not only contradicts the Islamic teachings, but it also undermines the very causes we aim to support. By embodying patience and justice and compassion, we can affect meaningful change and contribute to a more harmonious society. This approach reflects the broader Islamic principle of self purification, known as tazkiyah, which involves cleansing oneself from negative traits and cultivating virtues like patience, humility, and self control. The Quran, it emphasizes the importance of self purification, where Allah states, He has succeeded who purifies it, and He has failed who instills it with corruption. So, we need solutions, and that's what we try to give here at the Faithful Scribe. To align our daily conduct with these teachings, we can implement several practical steps. First, we want to set clear intentions, that is our niyat. Begin each day with a sincere intention to act righteously, to do what is good, to behave good, to seek Allah's pleasure. The Prophet ﷺ stated, actions are judged by intentions and every person will get what they intended. Secondly, we can engage in regular self-reflection, muhasaba. Sit down and think. Take time daily to assess your actions and your thoughts, identifying areas for how you can better yourself, improve yourself, self-improvement. This practice, it fosters self-awareness and accountability, which a lot of us fail to do. We want to next, thirdly, practice consistency in our worship. Be regular in your salat, your prayers, fasting, instill discipline, and it reminds us of our purpose. The Prophet ﷺ emphasized the importance of consistent deeds, doing it consistently, even if they are small deeds. Then we have, fourthly, seek knowledge, ilm, pursue both religious and worldly knowledge to make informed decisions and contribute positively to society, to your community, to your family. The Quran encourages believers to read and learn. Now, when I say worldly knowledge or the knowledge of the dunya, we have to talk about beneficial knowledge. Not just any and everything out there, but knowledge that is going to better your condition in this life for the next life. Strengthen your relationship with Allah and inform you of the things that are necessary to know in this life to be able to move through it successfully. Now, the final thing here I want to say is surround yourself with positive influences. We can't underestimate that. Associate with individuals who encourage good behavior and provide constructive feedback. You are who your friends are. And this is basically what the Prophet ﷺ stated. We need a supportive environment that reinforces positive habits. This is what we look to do and must do as Muslims. See, by integrating these practices into our daily lives, we can build a character that embodies Islamic values, enabling us to respond to the challenges that we face in our societies, in our communities, in our world, with wisdom and with grace. This is not all cliché advice, okay? This is advice that we lack in our societies today. The more we follow this guidance, which comes from the Creator of the seen and the unseen, the better examples we can be for the world that we live in. Take care of yourselves and take care of your families, because strong families make strong communities, and strong communities make powerful societies. Assalamu alaikum.